achieve success with Global.Media.com. Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne.
Yay! Welcome, everyone. Another Your Menomorphosis show.
Yes.
Anyway, ignore me. Let me find away quietly. Let me let the superstar do what the superstar does.
Oh my gosh.
Carly says
Yeah.
so.
You know, you're going to have to come back up to introduce yourself in any case.
Yes.
So,
Let me rest
so-
my They
all
can't see
right.
me.
Oh, welcome everyone to another show where we talk everything to do with menopause. Today, we are very happy to welcome Kellie Rhymes, who is a woman's hair loss support expert. I was on her show a couple of months ago, I think. God, time is flying so fast. I can't even remember. But I saw her show, it popped up on my feed, and I was like, yes, I have to have her on my show because one of the things women going through midlife and menopause struggle with is hair loss, myself included. That was one of the first symptoms I experienced. So I'm really happy that she's here. So what I'll do is I'll pass it to Kellie and Annie to introduce themselves for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get the show started.
Okay.
And Annie on mute.
You got to choose one of us, right?
Oh, I thought you were just gonna. Okay, Kellie can go first.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Hello, everyone. As stated, my name is Kellie Rhymes. I'm a women's hair loss support and authenticity coach. And I got into this space because of my own journey with hair loss. I have scarring alopecia, and through that, I went through a lot of emotional challenges, mental challenges due to my hair loss. So after years of experiencing hair loss, I finally embraced what was happening and decided to cut my hair off, as you can see. And I have embraced this look since 2019. So now I am here to support other women who are experiencing all forms of hair loss. And I help them with that emotional challenge and help them through their journey of hair loss, whether that is helping them find solutions, helping them with a game plan to figure out what's happening with them. Or, sometimes there's a situation like myself where their hair is not going to come back. So we have to shift their identity and help with those challenges that they're experiencing emotionally to embrace the hair loss. So that is a little bit about me. My background is actually in real estate investing. That is what I've always done. It's a skill set I have. But this is my total passion, which is why I am coaching in this space. So that's just a little bit about me.
Awesome. So Kelly is a real expert on this topic. I can't wait to hear what you're going to tell us today. So I see our friends on my LinkedIn event page. Dr. CJ, I see you. Valerie, I see you too. Sandra, welcome. Will. So Oluwaseyi, I see you too. My friends, if you're here, please drop us a comment. We'll know you're here otherwise. Don't ask me why you're on my LinkedIn event page when on my StreamYard. I can't show you comments on screen. Hopefully, we'll catch up sometime. Hopefully, fingers crossed. My friends, I'm still NEO Song. My book is still there. That one, that one. Let's go from COVID. So that's my anthology that has 10 of us talking about how to survive the pandemic, not just survive, but how we thrive. It's a pandemic. I would say there's something in the book for everyone. It says 10 authors from around the world who are sharing their stories of resilience, and strategies, I guess, for the next pandemic, which will come, right? So my mission today is my next anthology. I didn't intend to write more than one, but I tend to do that. I found another pressing cause. That's people who experience life-threatening illnesses. I want to tell their stories and tell the stories of how they survived. Whether it's food, whether it's spirituality, whether it's exercise, whether it's holistic health, whether it's something else. Medication, I'm sure, plays a part in many people's stories. What's your story? What's your superpower? How did you manage to survive? What can we learn from you? If any of that interests you, my friend, then get in touch. Let's try and get you the book. So my other passion is helping people to write and publish their books. And if you've got a book, manuscripts that you've written sitting on your table doing nothing, then let's get it out there. That's what I exist to do. I'll stop talking for now because the topic is way too. This topic is way too important. But yeah, I wish my hair wouldn't grow. I really do wish it wouldn't grow, but tonight I got to shave my hair every day. No one knows what that means and what that really involves. Lisa, you're not bald, are you, Lisa?
Sorry?
When you said you had hair loss, I'm thinking you're not really bald underneath that hair you have.
No, this is my hair, but it was a lot thicker, a lot thicker.
Excellent.
It's just kind of crazy with carnival right now, so that's why it looks like a full head of hair.
That's, I guess one of the things people don't know about me is I'm easily freaked out by things, right? And the biggest freaky thing that happens in my life is that I got two sisters. They can look like two different people every day of the week. I'm like, stop doing that. Stop doing that. One day they got shorter hair, next day they got longer hair. I'm like, how have you done that? And I start yanking at their hair, and they're like, leave me alone. So I'm easily perturbed by those sort of people who change their looks so drastically. But let me stop talking. Now, Lisa, do you want to write back?
Yes, please. Before you get us in trouble. So welcome, everyone. My name is Lisa Favec. I'm a dietitian, author, educator, and transformation coach for women's health issues. But I really focus on menopause and midlife because we still don't have enough information on it. We don't have enough awareness. And in some countries, it's still very taboo to talk about that. And my passion, I'm going to steal Kellie's word, my passion is to really bring that awareness and education to women and to be the voice for the voiceless, for those who struggle with symptoms in silence and feel like they have no place to go or no one to turn to. I'm trying really hard to be that for them, be that support system for them. And one thing that we really struggle with, and Kellie mentioned the word identity, is our hair identity. And for many women, what our hair looks like, and as Annie said, on a daily basis, we can change it with our mood, with our clothes. It really gives us an identity. It gives us confidence. It makes us feel young. It makes us feel vibrant and alive. So when we start losing it, it's like we don't have control over our own bodies. And losing our hair means that for some part of us, we're losing our identity as a woman. So I thought it was an important topic today. And today is Carnival Tuesday in my country. I should be out on the streets jumping up and enjoying myself. But I thought it was so important. I know Kellie is very busy and I was blessed to get her today to really start to have this conversation on if there are things we can do to support our hair, to make it stronger, to make it grow. And if it can't, if we've tried everything else, but we have some condition where it can't grow, how do we start coping? How do we start managing? How do we develop maybe a new identity with what we have? So what I want, I know we're not getting comments on StreamYard. It's Annie's fault, Annie said before we started that, usually we have technical difficulties, and I told him, hey, don't blight my show. And look, now we can't see any comments. Right? So I'm looking on my phone to see all those who have joined us. So Annie, just want to run through the list quickly before we start.
It's one of those weird things that happens to us. Arlene, you're in the studio. We see you. I'll bring you up once we get started. Thank you so much for being here. Just be patient with us. So I see Lady K's here from the Mind, Body, and Soul Geniuses. Thank you so much for joining us. I mentioned Sandra, author Sandra, mindset coach Sandra as well. Natalie, I see you as well. Thank you for being here. The amazing Noni, Varani, Pepperoni. Thanks, Noni. You know, you've made my life. You know, you never know. You never know. Lisa suffers this pain every time we talk. She's like, stop calling me Tasty Roti. I'm like, it's not me. It's Noni. That's her idea, right?
Yeah,
Noni,
people aren't going to know where it came from.
thank you, Noni. You're a legend. You know, you haven't been to Noni's Sing Your Heart Out. Dude, no. Well, don't sleep one night on a Friday night and then join us. And
Yeah, around midnight, 1 a.m.
yeah,
Sing your
well, no,
heart out room. Yeah,
it's early
it's
though.
good
It's getting
fun.
earlier, Lisa. It's getting earlier. It's meant to
Yeah,
be.
and I know the time change is happening on Sunday, so it'll go back to midnight my time
Right.
instead of 1 a.m.
5 a.m. my time. So, Mr. David
Yeah,
Jones, a Web3 guy, thank you for joining us. Joni, I've sent you the link to your links, your LinkedIn DM, so do join us. I would love to hear your thoughts. Christine, as well, I just sent you the links as well to your DM, and Linda, all the way in Canada. Glad you're here.
yeah.
See, they only have
So,
me here just
are you saying to?
after this bit. Listen, it's like, shut up, and stop talking.
No. I was going to ask if you saw my BFF Chirito in the
No,
audience.
no.
It's 6
Sorry.
a.m. where she is.
Is
So
she
I'm
here?
happy. I saw her in the audience. I
Excellent.
saw. Yeah, she said she just woke up.
Welcome. You know, ignore me. My eyesight is not as it was, right? Yeah, so ignore me.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me stop talking. Lisa,
Mm.
back to you. Got two people in the studio, by the way. Arlene's
Yeah.
here, Mark's here. So when you're ready to hear from them, just let me know.
Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to just share some information first. And if anyone coming up, if you have a hair loss story, oh, okay, I didn't realize you're bringing them on stage one time. All right. If you have a hair loss or hair care story you want to share with us, I know Dr. Constance has these beautiful wigs, so I hope she comes and shares how she takes care of them and where she gets them from. Or if you have a question for myself or Kelly, with she's the expert, she's here, so take advantage of that. So let's get this information started. So wanted to share why this happens. Why do women start losing their hair around midlife and menopause? So it's very common for a lot of us, and it goes with those hormonal fluctuations and it shifts. As we start to lose estrogen, okay, so let me back up. Estrogen is important for many of our body's processes. And they're estrogen receptors from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. So they're all along our body. And where the receptor is, estrogen will give a message on how the body should operate. So estrogen, progesterone, testosterone are called hormones. They're chemical messengers that tell different parts of the body what to do. So as we start to lose estrogen, we don't have enough of them to fit in all the receptors. So a lot of our body parts stop getting the right messages at the right time. So that's why we start to get joint pain. We may get increase in chronic disease. So we get uncontrolled blood sugars that lead to diabetes, uncontrolled blood pressures that could lead to hypertension. Our risk for things like heart disease shoots up when we enter into menopause because these hormones are dropping and fluctuating at the same time. So one of the areas it affects is our hair. So as estrogen and progesterone drops, we get things like dry hair, brittle hair, dry scalp, itchy scalp, or hair starts to leave the top of our heads, but then starts to grow in very strange areas. So we may get hair along our jawline. So we start developing even like a beard or mustache in some cases. It grows in other weird places as well that I wouldn't want to gross any out. But it grows where it's not supposed to grow, and where we want it to grow, and the top of our head, it stops growing, right? So another thing that also affects our hair growth can be the medications that we're on. So if you have any underlying health conditions, thyroid imbalances, autoimmune conditions, or a skin condition or scalp condition that also affects our hair growth. Also stress, so chronic stress affects our hair growth cycles. So if we're always under stress, it's going to affect how our hair grows and the strength of our hair. Also nutritional deficiencies. So if we're not getting enough of things like iron, protein, biotin, magnesium, zinc, a whole host of healthy fats as well. And if we're not drinking enough water, so a simple thing like drinking enough water can affect how our hair grows. So the first thing I wanted to share is that we really need to focus on our diet. So for every part of our bodies, every health condition you can think of, it starts with diet. And where you want to start is with your plant-based foods. And when I say plant-based foods, I'm talking about vegetables and fruits, all the different colors. We're talking peas, beans, nuts, seeds, and our whole grain foods. So that includes provisions, oats, brown rice, right? Things like that. You want to eat enough of those foods. So in a general way, you want to start with half your plate being vegetables, a mix of the different colors, raw and cooked. So some of the some things we eat raw, like let's say lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers. And then our body also likes vegetables that are cooked, slightly cooked. So broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, those sturdier vegetables, we need to cook them a little bit to release those nutrients. Half your plate vegetables, quarter of your plate protein, and I really wanted to start with peas and beans. I know for many of us in many cultures, we start with meat, right? We put meat on the plate and then find stuff to go with the meat. I just want to change your thinking. So I'm not saying that you have to go vegan or vegetarian. So, and you'll be glad. I'm not saying not to eat your meat, right? But I'm saying start with peas and beans first. Again, the different colors will have different vitamins and minerals. So that's why you want to eat the different colors. So we're talking red beans, black beans, lentils, chickpeas. We call them chana in the Caribbean. Do a mix. So every other day you try one, or you batch cook different sets. So maybe for 2 days of the week you eat lentils, and the other 2 days you eat red beans, and the other days you eat chickpeas. So make sure you get in a good mix. Also focus on nuts and seeds. And I know we like to focus on almonds and walnuts, but don't forget your seeds. They're cheap, they're widely available. So you're talking pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds, ground flax seeds, hemp seeds, right? So make sure and include those in your diet. Make sure it's ground flax seeds though. If you take the whole flax seeds, you're literally just going to pass them out. So make sure you get the ground one, either buy ground flax seed or grind them yourself in a coffee grinder. And you could add these anywhere. You could add them in the cooking process. You could add them after on top of your meals. And then you could have your meat, preferably chicken breast or fish. Red meat has been shown to raise our risk for heart disease. And being in menopause already raises our risk higher than a man's. So you don't want to eat other foods that are going to raise your risk even further. So limit the red meat. And then the last quarter, you want to focus on your carbohydrates. You do need energy. So you want to focus on, if it's rice, you can do brown rice, or if you have things like parboiled rice or white rice, add back things that are going to add fiber. So instead of cooking plain rice, you can do a vegetable rice or a bok choy rice, a broccoli rice, right? So mix vegetables into the rice. Start with your plant-based foods, and that will give you a good foundation for good hair growth, going to give your hair the nutrients it needs and your scalp the nutrients it needs. And then don't forget your water. I know for a lot of people drinking at least, and I still stick with the at least 8 glasses of water. They're 8 cups. A cup is 250 milliliters or 8 ounces. I still stick with that because many people still don't get enough water. And if you're suffering with things like hot flashes, you need extra water. If you sweat a lot, you need extra water. If you're in the gym and sweating a lot, doing that exercise, you need extra water. Not just to hydrate, but to flush out those toxins. right? So it doesn't have to be plain water. You can do fruit flavored. You can infuse berries. You can infuse lemons, herbs, even spices. You can put cinnamon sticks. Whatever it is you need to drink more water, this is, I just suggest herbal teas. You can infuse with herbal tea bags, whether it's hot or cold. Try to drink at least half cup every half hour. Set your timers, get your water drinking apps. There's so much technology out there that can help us. But water, when I look at women who are losing their hair and I check their diet and I ask them, how much water do you drink in a day? It's usually very low. So I'm going to stop there for now. So that's the basis of the nutrition that you need. Any comments, or Kelly, before we move on?
No, I think you covered it really well as far as the menopause part and really emphasizing stress, because that's something that we all deal with. And we sometimes with stress, you don't even know how much stress you're under. That could be affecting you. So really managing that stress and emphasizing that and paying attention to that diet, those are really the key things, especially for preventative hair loss. So, or even if you're at the early stages and you're noticing a lot of shedding, definitely try those things first outside of going to a dermatologist or a trichologist or physician to actually find out what's happening with your body that's causing that hair loss.
Yeah, agreed. And I just, as I mentioned that, I just remembered collagen supplements. I know the first thing people recommend is get a collagen supplement. Collagen is a type of protein. If you're lacking protein and you take a collagen supplement, your body will send the protein where it needs it, not necessarily your hair. So it means you have to eat enough protein, and maybe you have absorption issues. So for example, and hopefully I don't gross any with this, all of my organs are upside down, right? I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to the medical stuff, right? So the way I absorb food is different to a lot of people. So for me, I may need extra supplements to make sure I'm getting enough of what my body needs. If you don't have any health issues and you're eating enough protein, and that will be different for everybody depending on your size, whether you're a man or a woman, your activity levels, there are a lot of different things that actually has to be calculated. So again, seeing a dietitian can be very helpful. But if you're getting enough protein, you don't need to buy collagen supplements. But if you're having some difficulty getting enough protein or eating, or you just choose to use a supplement, that's fine. But understand that you can't dictate where the collagen goes. It's a protein, so your body will send it where it needs it first, and that is not necessarily your hair. Right? So I just wanted to share that. Just want to also touch on hormone replacement therapy. So when I first started, remember I said your hormones are decreasing and that's why you're losing your hair. So a good remedy, especially if it's like when you said it's shedding. So you're combing your hair and lots of it is coming out on your brush, or when you wake up in the morning, a lot of it is on your pillow. So you're losing a lot faster than you're growing. Hormone replacement therapy, or it's called HRT, can be something you should talk to your doctor about. It's safe. So I know the old clinical trials fooled a lot of people and gave us bad information. HRT is very safe. There are different types, there are different applications depending on your health condition. So that's why you need to talk to a doctor, because maybe you need estrogen alone, maybe it's a combination of estrogen and progesterone you need, maybe you need some testosterone. There are pills, there are gels, there are patches, there are different applications. It also depends on your age. If you have a history of breast cancer, there are different types for your health condition. So if you're struggling with menopause symptoms, and hair loss is one of the big ones, talk to your doctor about starting hormone replacement therapy. There are different blood tests you have to do first, but really have that conversation, because that could be a game changer in your menopause symptoms, including hair loss. Annie, are you there? I know you popped off stage.
I guess
Yeah, I know you're trying to run, right?
the thing that I found interesting was things that I'm like, wow, okay. I drink a lot more water now than I ever have. I've got this love for cold water.
Mm.
I love freezing cold water. I got a fridge full of damn stuff. That's what I drink, right? I guess you're making it sound like it's not abnormal. Because I'm thinking, why do I just suddenly want to drink water all day? It's part of aging, right, Lisa?
So if you're feeling thirsty, you've gone past the point of where you needed water. You're
Right.
actually not really supposed to feel very thirsty. If you're hydrating properly, you're not supposed to feel thirsty. That's one. Two, if you're feeling hungry when you're not supposed to, a lot of times your body confuses hunger and thirst. So again, it is important that you stay well hydrated. So a good rule of thumb is to drink a glass of water before you eat. It helps with overeating, helps with dehydration, of course. Oh gosh, and I was going to say one more thing. Shit, you see? And this is where the brain fog happens. My goodness.
It will come back sometime.
I'll come
right?
back to you if I don't think about it. I'll say this. It doesn't really matter the temperature of the water, your body will adjust. I know people say you should only drink room temperature. It should be, they're different. A lot of people say a lot of things, right? Whatever makes you drink more water, go with that. It's not for me to say any drink room temperature water if you're feeling for cold water. If that's what's going to get you to drink more water, have at it. I prefer you drink more water. Oh, I remember now. If the color of your urine is dark yellow, you need more water. If it's clear, you're drinking too much. It should be light yellow, right? So it should be a lot lighter than the color Kelly is wearing. But if oh my gosh, and I don't know why I did that. I just saw the yellow. But if your urine is that color, you're not drinking enough. Sorry, Kelly.
It's okay. It's all right. You're correct.
Right? So it should be light yellow. So that's a good indicator as well.
Okay, the symptom of drinking so much water is that you end up going to the toilet much more often than is humanly advisable.
Yes, but it also means your body is flushing out toxins, which is a good thing. But again, frequent urination is also a symptom of menopause. I should also mention all women go through menopause. Some men go through male menopause, which is called andropause. So if you're having similar symptoms to menopause and the symptoms are extremely similar, have a conversation with your doctor and test your hormones, right? But again, if you're feeling to drink water, drink, right? Drink.
That helps. So we've got a few people on stage. So I'll let you call them. I'll bring them up.
So let's Kelly share some information first,
Okay.
because I spoke about hair to manage that hair growth, but I really wanted to have that conversation on if we're losing hair and we can't stop it. So Kelly, just share a little bit of your story, how you when it started, how you figured out what your condition was it through a doctor? Did they have to do blood tests? What tests they had to do, so people know if that's happened to them, what to expect and what to do.
Okay. Well, personally, I actually started losing my hair in my late 20s, and I did not go to a dermatologist or a doctor or anything like that immediately. What I did, and what a lot of people do, is you're in denial or you try to figure it out yourself. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out myself, going on Google University, YouTube University, and trying different like holistic approaches. But when I finally did go to a dermatologist, basically the process is that they will take a look at your scalp. And sometimes if you need it, but a lot of times you will have what they call a biopsy done. And that's when they take a sample of your scalp and really test it to see what is happening. So in my case, as I explained, I have alopecia. Now, alopecia is just a general term for hair loss. And there are all types of forms of alopecia. So the type I have is scarring. That's like a blanket statement, scarring alopecia. But even under scarring alopecia, there are different types of alopecia. Now, with alopecia, sometimes your hair can grow back. Sometimes it will not. Sometimes it's in spurts where you'll have a head full of hair and then you may wake up and you have patches the next day. So it really does depend on what's happening with you. But as far as menopause is concerned, everything that you said, Lisa, exactly. It's really hormonal related. Also, you need to kind of look back at maybe some of your relatives to see if genetics plays a part in your hair loss as well. But yeah, the doctor will, I'm just going to get back to the dermatologist. The doctor will test and figure out what is happening with you. Now, you don't necessarily have to go to a dermatologist. Sometimes it's something internal, as Lisa spoke about. So you can go to your primary physician. And if they see it's something with your nutrition or your hormones, then they will handle that or refer you to a nutritionist and do different things like that. There are also people out there called trichologists. Now, a trichologist is a person who they cannot prescribe prescriptions or anything like that, but they specialize in the science of the scalp and scalp health and hair health. So they are the ones that really take the holistic approach of, okay, let's look at what's happening with you. If you found out that it is nutrition or it's menopause or whatever it may be, then they will work with you to come up with a plan to help with your hair regrowth. So one thing I want to say is with hair loss, it's not the same for everybody. It's not the same. So just because one treatment may have worked for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for you. A lot of times it is individualized as far as how your hair will regrow or if it will grow back in general. But those are the basic foundational steps. You need to go see some type of a physician to figure out what is really happening with you, get whatever testing needs to be done. Then they will recommend different forms of treatment depending on what would be the best fit for you. Lisa talked about hormonal replacement. There are things like low light therapy, where they have like these kind of a low light radiation type of thing, or laser therapy type of situation, where that can help you. They have topicals, they have medication. So it's all types of treatments out there that can be provided to you. It's just about getting the right diagnosis and then getting the right treatment. And even with that treatment, you may have to try different types of treatments before you figure out what will actually work for you. So I'm just giving you a blanket overview of what it looks like when you are experiencing hair loss and the steps you should take at first to manage and figure out what's happening with you.
Thanks so much for that. So I just wanted to add to what you said. So when it comes to the medications, as you said rightly, you have to give it time because you have to figure out what works for you and your body. It usually takes at least 3 months, and not just for hair loss medications. For most medications, it takes about 3 months for your body to kind of give in to what you're trying to do, and then to figure out if it works. If after 3 months we're not seeing enough of a change, then we switch the medication or change the dosage, and you go for another 3 months. So you have to really be patient and give yourself grace, and then also know that no medication may work, right? And I think that's a difficult thing for some people to swallow because they have so much hope, hoping that these things will work, and then when it doesn't, it could really be a shock and a blow to your self-esteem and confidence. Also things like the Rogaine and the minoxidil and stuff like that. Once you start those treatments, you have to keep at it. It's not like you try it for a month, your hair comes back and you stop. No, your hair will fall out. It's something that you have to stay on probably for your lifetime with those medications. So again, talk to your primary care physician first. They may recommend going to some sort of specialist to continue treatments, but you have to give yourself that time first. It is an investment, so it can be very costly. So you really have to decide what road you want to go on. If you want to go on medication, hormone replacement therapy, or if you want to go the way of hair pieces or wigs, or just go like Kelly and just embrace it. So I really think having some sort of coach at some point can help with that, because it's not just the physical, it's the mental and emotional as well. And you have to sort of balance all. And the more stress you put yourself under, these medications will start to work less.
Yeah.
So you really have to manage your stress while being in a very stressful situation.
Yes, yes. And to your point, not only are you dealing with testing out these treatments to figure out whether or not they work, that takes the time. And if it doesn't work, that's a frustration, that there comes anger, there becomes a lot of different emotions. And so you're dealing with that. And then on top of that, you're dealing with just losing your hair in general, which is a blow to your self-esteem, especially as a woman, because society has put out there that, in order to be beautiful, you have to have this long, thick, flowy hair. And that's what you see on commercials and, on TV and this and that. So it's put out there that, you have to have hair to be beautiful. And that's not necessarily the case. So with that being said, those are just all blows to your self-esteem, to your emotions, and all of those things. And that's when I step in and I help women through that, just because I know how it feels. Like, I know what it's like to try something and you have so much hope for it to work, for it not to work, and then you're back at square one. And that repeated cycle over and over again is really, really challenging. So thank you for saying that, Lisa, because that is very important.
Yeah, I think the mental and emotional stress because I've been there to try different things, and it may work for a month and then it doesn't, and you have those hopes dashed. It can be very challenging, and this is why it's important to work with good coaches when you need that extra support. Oh gosh, the comments are still not coming through. Still not coming through.
I'm okay, right. Okay, here's another one. Here's no, this is the only way I can do it. So Karen Pascal says, yes, peas and beans are very important. Yes, are we agreeing?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay, so I'll copy the comments from where we have.
I'm seeing one of the questions from Arlene. Just want to touch on it. She asks, what about pescatarians? So it means you should get good lean sources of protein. Fish is certainly a good choice. So any sort of fatty fish also is a good choice, because you're getting those healthy fats, the omega-3s, which are important, and the protein. You just have to make sure you're getting enough of it. But that's why I like to start with the peas and beans first, so that you're getting B vitamins, you're getting protein, and then whatever your extra choice of protein is, whether it's chicken breast, whether it's fish, could be tofu, tempeh. We have a lot of choices right now. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading the comments as they come along. So whatever your choice of protein is, you have to make sure you're getting enough of it. And then after you've tried those, if you want to get extra supplements, I always suggest going back to your doctor, because supplements are still under medications. Your body sees it in the same way. You could be wasting money. So I know a lot of people, as soon as their hair starts to drop or they start to lose hair, they buy biotin. You may not be lacking biotin, right? But it's the first thing that you see coming up on social media or on the internet if you search, get a biotin tablet. Your body needs all vitamins and minerals in adequate amounts for it to do what it needs to do. So if you're not getting enough biotin and it needs it somewhere else, it's not going to send it to your scalp. And then if you're lacking in healthy fats or iron or zinc or magnesium or water, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. And then you're just kind of wasting money on supplements. So start with food first. If you're not getting the results you're seeing, talk to your doctor. You could even talk to your pharmacist. Pharmacists are specialized in drugs and supplementation, sometimes more than your GP. Because remember, they specialize after they become a GP, they just go off and do pharmacology. So your local pharmacist could be a good resource to figure out what may be a good option for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me work with a few more people. I'm always keen to hear from those who are here in the studio with us. Because they might lose hope that we're going to let them speak eventually.
No,
right?
no, not at all.
Right. So you're agreeing with Natalie's comments about oily fish, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. I think she had another one, sleep.
Yeah. So sleep goes along with stress. So we're just sort of saying overall health and wellness, right? Everything to do with whether it's diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, or skincare or hair loss. You need good nutrition, you need to reduce stress, and you need good quality sleep. That means going through all these cycles of sleep. I know we did a show on sleep already. We'll do it for another one, but not just staying asleep for long periods, but good quality sleep, meaning you're going through all these cycles. Yeah.
Yeah, I barely start the sleep cycles and I'm awake already, right?
Okay, so you're a special case. We're not going to discuss your sleeping habits.
Now, let me work
Right.
on Richard. Let me work on Richard, our Go Brunch founder. Glad you're here, Richard. Thanks for joining us. Dr. Marcia, see you as well. Good afternoon, everyone. She says, I'm glad you're here. Shola, where have you been, Shola? You're back. Excellent. Glad you're here, Shola. Shola has an amazing book that I can explain. That's what I stands for. And I connect with her and find out what the book's all about. So I guess I know what it is, but I've got a copy. I've got a signed copy, no less. So I can tell you what it's about, but it's about discrimination and finding your voice in the workplace. Go talk to her. That's it. Dr. Leslie is here as well. Our goal achievement expert, mindset genius, and amazing author of best-selling book Irada. Glad you're here. That's Leslie. Many of these people do events, so do connect with them and do go along and support their shows. I'm sure we'll need to make friends on this platform, right? So let's make those friends. It comes from actually turning up in what other people are doing. Should I bring the speakers in, Lisa?
Yes, please. I think you brought Arlene up first. I'd love to hear what Arlene has to say.
Arlene fell off, but Arlene, you're up.
Why is Arlene not celebrating Carnival?
I'm here.
Hi, Arlene.
Hi, good evening. I am really enjoying this conversation. I was intrigued when I saw the title, and of course the hostess, the co-hostess. I was intrigued with that too. But the title of it, because I recently cut my 30 plus inches length of dreads. Yes, Lisa, I cut the dreads, and what I noticed is that the front of the hair was starting to go away, so to speak. And I used some oil because somebody always tells you about an oil, and it started to seem as if it was growing, and then no cigar. It was going away again. So that had me kind of concerned. But now, from what Lisa is explaining, I'm understanding the factors involved in me having this experience. And I think one is diet, and two, the level of stress. So one I can fix readily. The other I have to work on. So thank you very much for that bit of information, because you get so conscious of it, and you're trying everything, and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, and then you realize it's probably something quite simple that you could change that may help in that area, not knowing if it will grow again. But I mean, trying to change the diet, not trying, I'm in the process of doing it as we speak, because I took out my black beans and my lentil peas to start charting the peas for the different days. So thank you very much for that, Lisa.
Sure, not a problem. So I will let Kelly address that. Do you have the name of the oil? Because I know people say castor oil, or
It's
castor oil is
Haitian,
the
it's Haitian black
uh,
oil. I think it's
black
yeah,
oil.
yeah,
Yes.
Haitian, the Haitian one. I walked quite a bit of the way in the cold to get it.
Did you ever hear about that, Kelly? That's hair
I
oil.
have not heard of the black Haitian oil. However, there are a lot of oils and serums and different things out here that promote hair regrowth. But it still always goes back to, you still have to figure out and find out what is happening within your body. Just because you have this oil, yeah, it may work a little bit, but if there's still that underlying issue of hormones, of nutrition, or other things that's happening within your body, that oil is only going to do so much. So I still always go back to, you still need to find out what is happening in your body to cause the hair loss. It could very well just be that stress and your nutrition, but you don't know for sure. So just go find out for sure so that you can take the correct actions. Because what you don't want to do is wait too long and have this prolonged hair loss and then you can't get it back. So we don't want that to happen. That's exactly why I'm like always an advocate for, go find out, go to the doctor first and just at least see, get tested, get whatever needs to be done so you know exactly how to treat your hair loss.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks for that. I just wanted to add to what you said. So when it comes to oils, I've seen things like rosemary oil. So
Yeah.
okay, so essential oils aren't something should put directly on your hair or skin. You should use a carrier oil. So like coconut oil or castor oil, so you mix the oil with the castor oil. There's a way to do it. If you don't know how, you can actually burn your skin or scalp if you do it wrong. But I've seen things like rosemary oil work, tea tree oil, I've seen work, even peppermint oil, but again, it depends on what the situation is. Also, simple scalp care. So washing your hair, not too often because you will strip the natural oils. But if you're adding, let's say, the Haitian oil on your scalp, sooner or later you'll need to remove what's that layer to get, just to have a clean scalp. So sometimes people leave the oil on too long, or they don't wash their hair when it needs to. So again, maybe talking to even your hairstylist. Some hairstylists actually study these things, and you can have a conversation as to when is the best time to wash your hair, your particular hair, what type of oil or serum should be used on your particular type of hair. Let's say you have some sort of issue with your scalp. There may be additional things you need to do. So again, having that conversation with some experts, could be a hairstylist that studied hair care, not just your normal hairdresser. They have to study hair care. Talking to a dermatologist can help, or to having a talk with your primary care physician to do those blood tests to see what you may be deficient in. Also, I know for a lot of people who have dreadlocks or heavy hair for years, sometimes the weight of the hair starts pulling at the roots and you start to lose hair that way. So I know a lot of people that after a while they cut it off because it's actually too heavy for their scalp and it starts to pull their hair. So that may be again a conversation to have with your hairstylist or whoever is managing your hair to see the condition of what's going on and then to recommend something. Arlene, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you in person soon to see what you look like, because I know I've seen you one way for years. And it'll be very interesting to see what you look like now. But definitely maybe have a conversation with your doctor and have some blood tests done, just to make sure you're not deficient in anything too.
Okay, will do. And my husband was quite surprised too. He doesn't know me without my dreads.
Oh, that must have been a treat. um, I think the next person you brought up was, yeah, Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hi, guys. Hi. Good conversation. No idea why my background is blue. Literally can't fix it. So, oh well.
I was wondering, but it works though. It works to a degree, right? You know,
It's fine.
whatever
It's
comes for
just
you.
I have it on no background, so
You look great. You're actually popping on the screen. You look great. So that's okay. Go with it.
uh going with it. Um, you know, I'm 43, so like it's early stages of like some hormone changes, and gosh, like getting ovulating now hurts so bad, and I don't know if you have an answer to that, but also I definitely agree with everything you've said about stress and eating and exercising and you know, communicating with other people, really like engaging, and that is a good way to relieve some of that stress. And Kelly, I mean, I you are, first of all, a beautiful woman. I mean, you don't need hair. You do not need
Thank
hair.
you. Thank
Like you're black and you have a perfect head. So you got it going on, okay? There's a lot
Thank
of us
you.
white women who would be like, oh, ooh, ooh, what's going on, okay? But yeah, so don't even like second guess that. But I know personally, I have had extensions in my hair before, and it gave me headaches, and it stopped hair growth, and so that might be a good reason not to have those Bob Marley dreads anymore. I don't know. Well, there's nothing I don't know about that, but I know extensions really did hurt me. And I guess also another question I have for you is overtaking Advil a bad thing? Because sometimes I find myself taking Advil too much, and I feel like that could be harmful. So that's just another question. And I just wanted to say I love seeing all my friends here, and you know, I can't have LinkedIn and this on, so but I know Natalie is here, and I know Karen, I know Margaret, and so, and of course, you know, my brother from another mother, Annie. So, anyways, I just wanted to also give you a rah that you're doing great, Lisa.
Oh, thanks so much, Joe. I just love when you come on stage. You never know what is going to come out of your mouth, but it's
I mean,
always
I
something
can talk about it
entertaining and
all.
important.
I can
Um,
talk about vaginas. I can talk about
yeah,
hair
we know, we know.
loss,
Please,
like.
no, stop, because you'll make
But you
Lisa
should
blush.
include a lot more men in this, because men, that's a thing they really wrestle with, is hair loss. Like that's
Mhm.
a kind of that's hard for men,
Yeah.
and I understand it very hard for women, but it's a very common thing for men, and it is that that is difficult. So you just broadcast this to men too.
Well, definitely. Sometimes, well, a lot of times there are more men in the audience than women for my shows, which I'm always so grateful for. But I just want to go back to some of the things you said. So, yes, extensions can damage your hair and your scalp, especially if you don't have the right type of extensions, or someone who's not qualified and trained properly puts them in for you. Um, the pain you're getting So if there's any change you notice to your menstrual cycle, especially if you're getting more pain than usual, go to your gynecologist and have some tests done, including an internal ultrasound, just to make sure that something that's not supposed to be there, go have it checked. I know for a lot of us, we put ourselves last, and whatever pain we're experiencing, we just chalk it up to stress, or maybe it's a bad month or whatever. Any change that happens, because remember, you know your body. Even if you're not paying attention, you will more or less know how long my cycle is, what days are heavy, what days are light. So if you're experiencing changes, especially pain, my advice is go to your gynecologist and let them check it out. You talked about the Advil. So medication, taking any sort of medication for too long does affect the body, especially pain meds. One, you don't want to get dependent on it, because then you're not fixing the underlying problem. If you're finding that you have to take too much of that medication, it may be the wrong medication, the wrong strength. Again, have a conversation with your doctor. They may have prescribed it and it's not working for you anymore. Have a conversation and say, look, you prescribed this, it worked for a year. Now it's not effective. Your body gets accustomed to meds, but it does interfere with your body's functions. So that pain you're getting for in your cycle could be related to the Advil. You never know. So go have it checked. But things like pain medication, cold medication, things with acetaminophen in it, you shouldn't be on it for prolonged periods. It's not meant to take every day or for long times. If you're finding yourself having to take it, so the underlying problem isn't being solved, go back to your doctor and have a conversation. Right? Because those things can be detrimental to your, sorry, Kelly, those things can be detrimental to like your liver and your kidneys. So you really want to go have that conversation. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just wanted to just address a little bit more about those hair extensions.
Yeah, please. Yes.
I know those can be very heavy. You have to really be careful as far as how the extensions are installed. I'm not sure how yours were installed, but sometimes your real hair is braided down and they sew in the extensions, or sometimes they clip them in or glue them in. There's different things that they're out here doing, but it's okay to get the extensions, but you have to make sure that your hair is not too tight if they're braiding it, because that can pull. And as to your point, making sure that the extensions aren't too heavy. I mean, I had locks as well when my hair started coming out. So that weight of anything on your hair is going to cause some type of tension, which can lead to stuff like traction alopecia. That's when you see people who don't have a hairline because their hair has come out all along their edges because of styling practices that are too tight for their hair. And that can actually pull your hair follicle out, and it could cause permanent damage. So just be careful whenever you're getting those extensions, braids, anything that's going to cause tension on your hair. Be very, very mindful of it. And if you do get it, make sure you take breaks in between and don't leave it in too long. So those are just a few tips to kind of help in the future if you decide to get extensions again.
Yeah, I was going to mention it's not supposed to stay in permanently. Especially, I know a lot of times they, like I said, they braid your hair first and then sew them in. But remember, your hair is still growing, it's still changing, it still needs management and upkeep. And they're usually supposed to tell you how long it stays in for before you have to take them out and get a wash and get proper treatment before you do it again. And you should take breaks in between to give your hair and your scalp some rest before you do it again. So maybe consider things like wigs. Wigs have come a long way. The way they apply it, the way it's secured, the way it looks, so instead of having something sewn into your hair, maybe consider wigs. There are full head wigs, partial wigs, there a whole host of things, right? So maybe consider that instead of sewing something in if you're getting things like headaches or your
You're
scalp irritations or it's breaking.
I know it. They have really good ponytail clip-in ones too. So if you
Yes.
just do a little ponytail thing occasionally, I will not get that done again. I think my hair is just too fine for it. So
Yeah.
agreed with you.
Yeah. And especially as you go into menopause, a lot of women's hair starts to thin and become fine. So that's oh gosh. Wow. Yeah,
That's
putting in
true.
hair
I
pieces.
say that's true. Yep. Everyone thins out their hair as they get older because we're
Yeah.
just getting older. We can't
So you're
stop
not
it. Elon Musk might try, but we don't know.
moving on. Thanks, Tony.
You say
Do you have go ahead.
moving on, and I say a lot of comments about your blue background, Joni. People do. Sandra loves the blue background. It is her favorite color, right? You know, I want that background too. To be
No
fair.
idea. No idea how I got it. Just one
Uh,
time I came up and just was there. So I can't. Oh well, I'm gonna go with it. I feel like Cookie Monster a little bit, like I'm on Sesame Street.
let's go. Let's go to Margaret. Margaret, welcome to Superwoman. Glad you're here. One of my co-authors in anthology. You see behind me. How you doing,
Yeah, hi
Margaret?
Margaret.
Hi, beautiful. Hello, superstar Annie and lovely Joe and Kelly and everybody listening. And Coach David, hello. I'm so pleased to be here and grateful. Thank you so much for having me. I love all this conversation. Oh my goodness, I'm learning so much. I wanted to add a little flavor to it. I was going to talk about the collagen, like the natural collagen. Like in gelatin. Like I bought like the Knox, the one that you make, that doesn't have any dye in it or anything, and kind of make that. Just I wanted to talk about, and I'm glad you were talking about drink a lot of water because hydrate. But I guess the reason I was drinking that is because I think because I worked with doctors and stuff, and one of the doctors was saying of how the peptides and amino acids and all of that, it creates blood flow when you have really good collagen, and that blood flow goes to your scalp too. So it kind of starts opening, and creates more, growth, more room for it to grow and stuff with that. But that was my little share. But thank you, Annie, for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to learning more. Um, I've just, I'm grateful to be here, and thank you so much for just sharing your story, Kelly. It's very powerful, and I'm just like you're like a confident booster, like a person who has this energy level that is just like nonstop, right? And just grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Margaret.
You're welcome.
Yeah, agreed. Kelly just has this energy about her. And yeah, I could agree with Joe and the shape of your head. Like I can't do the shape of my head, can't do what you're doing. No.
Yeah, me either.
I will have to get a wig
You've
or
never
something.
tried. You've never
Some people
tried.
can pull it off. Some people
Tried
can
it.
pull it off. No, not this one.
No, but look, Kelly does pull it off very well, though. Kelly,
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
I didn't think I could pull it off either, but until I had to. So, it's just one of those things.
Yes.
Yeah, very beautiful.
But back to what Margaret shared. So when it comes to supplements, the supplement industry isn't as regulated as other medications. So sometimes a lot of times, what's written on the bottle is not what's in the bottle. So look for supplements that are third party tested, which means they carried it to an independent facility for them to test and make sure what's on the bottle is what's written. What's on the bottle is what's in the bottle. Yes, you could get around certain things, but do your own due diligence as best as you can. When it comes to collagen, I know people talk about drinking beef broth and things like that. Those things can help, but just be aware that all sources of proteins are broken down to amino acids. So whether you're getting it from the beef broth or a collagen supplement or a protein powder or from peas or beans, all of your proteins are broken down to amino acids and your body sends them where it needs them. Your hair is not top priority for that, right? So if you're not getting enough protein and enough nutrients in general, it's gonna send it where it needs it. So that's why it's important to start with diet first. And then if you're having, because there are different things that can prevent you from eating enough foods. Then you look at supplementation and you find what works best for you. So Margaret, if that works great for you, great. I am not one to tell people stop taking this. If you are seeing results from it, great. And if people around you are finding good results from it, great. So if you want to share the name of the supplement and put it in the comment section, maybe it will work for some people. Not all supplements will work for all of us. And sometimes you can find a supplement and it works great for a year and then it stops working and you have to try something else, right? So just want to be mindful of that. But please share whatever supplements you're using. If it's giving you good results, I'd love to know about it. Just want to check. Yeah, and if you have a special recipe that you do for it, please share it in the comments as well. I know there's somebody else on stage. Oh, Coach David. And you want to bring Coach David up? Or do you have more people to welcome first?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Anyone on mute?
Nick, the GBW, give to
Hello. Can you hear me?
Just Coach David, hold 1 second.
One sec, I'll come to you. So Nick says, there you go. I'll let you read it out yourself, right? She's gonna throw a childish tantrum. Nah, she wants men to have the menopause, and I wish I could have the bald head naturally. No one knows what pain it is to have a bald head. Coach David has a bald head too, for the same reason as I. Anyway, welcome, Nick. I think Lady J was here as well, so thanks for joining us. Let's talk to Coach David. Coach, the mic is yours.
All right. How are you guys? Thank you, Lisa, Kelly, Margaret, Joe. Thank you so much. Annie, thank you for having me. Thank you. I was skeptical at first because this is an area that I am so strong in. But as I listen to us, I'd like just to add a few things to the conversation. Lisa, you're doing a very good job. And I think for me, the takeaway is self-confidence, despite the changing physiological and physiognomical changes in one's body. Self-confidence is key. And for me, the state of the mind is more superior than any supplement, any food item. In fact, the mind is what those things work on. As long as you refuse to feel old, it will be difficult for old age to catch up with you easily. The key is to tune into the mind. You see, old is a mental program. And I know that in medicine, the mind and the body are one. People, for example, don't die until they give up. Let me say that again. Medical science has proven that people do not die until they give up. So when people give up in their mind, in the seat of their will, emotion, and intellect, they die. So if you, for example, are experiencing hair loss and you focus on it so much and you begin to meditate on it so deeply and get very worried and you apply anxiety and all the negative toxic emotions, it will in fact accelerate the entire process and then make you age faster. But if you take the anti road and begin to reprogram your mind, accepting those changes, and then modulating your lifestyle with exercise and youth inducing mental programs, and get a mental adjustment coach, it will shock you what you can achieve. I wish it was a physical event. I'll have shown you that your muscles respond and your body respond to your mind. It's a very simple exercise that says people are tired or strong, not because it's a biological, a chemical problem, first of all, but because their minds begin to work a certain way, and then they believe that change they are seeing, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So in addition to all the beautiful therapies and all the oils and all the supplements, when you approach the certain age where these things begin to happen, there needs to be deliberate self-awareness of the thoughts, moods, emotions, imaginations, memories, that pictures, perspectives, and paradigms that pass through your mind. One must put it on a marker. There must be how hourly. I mean, where you didn't care how you felt in the morning, you don't check in with yourself at 12 noon all the time because you're young. As you get older, you should begin to, let's say, 4 hour checks or 3 hour checks. How am I feeling? Label the mood and the emotion and the imagination. Put a name to it. Calibrate it on a marker. Am I very happy? Am I medium happy or am I low happy? Why am I low? Can I change it? Knowing that you cannot come back to this hour. You're passing, our lives are passing away anyway. We can't reverse any minute. Why shouldn't we be happy? I mean, you cannot do anything about aging, but you can do something about how you feel about it because that's why you're a rational human being. So, refusing to give in to the thoughts and emotions and imaginations that were coming this would actually begin to revive and give your hormones another opportunity to be secreted more. So that's just what I would like to add to the specialist on the table. Like I said, it's not my strong area, and I've listened and learned a lot, but I'm excited. For me more at the possibilities for the mind. And I can hear in what Lisa and Kelly have said more self confidence, self esteem, self respect. Because you're losing your hair does not make you inferior to the guy who has his head. I mean, the first day I was going to go to the barber, and I faced the first skin. Skin is when you have like any hair. That's the way my hair is too. The first time the barber convinced me that you can't have any hair anymore, I almost was in tears because I used to love my hair. I like a certain. That day was eureka. I walked home feeling very sad. But after a while, I began to look at the mirror. Oh, skin is nice. I'm actually handsome too. Skin is nice. It's not bad actually. It's nice. And before you know it, I can't stand any hair on my head anymore. I'm enjoying it now. Point is, we must make those mental adjustments and begin to re-love ourselves. And if need be, get a coach. Because for many women, their hair is a symbolism of their personality or their person. So we need to pay attention and work with our minds that way. Thank you so much. This was my 1 cent to the conversation. I'm grateful what you guys are doing. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Annie, for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Coach David, and I totally agree with you. The studies actually show that women who have a more positive mindset actually experience the menopausal symptoms to a lesser extent than those who are have a more negative mindset. So those who have more depression and anxiety and panic attacks actually experience things like hot flashes more intensely than if you have a positive mindset. And my old Krav Maga coach used to say, where the mind goes, the body follows. So it really starts with having that positive mindset. It's not easy. It could be more challenging depending on how many symptoms you're having. But again, I agree with you. This is why sometimes working with a coach, even for 3 months, to help support you on that journey is so important. So totally agree with what you said. Anything else you want to add to that, Kelly?
Yes, I agree as well. And this is actually what I do with women with hair loss. Like that, we have to eliminate those negative emotions associated with hair loss or not having hair at all. That is what I was talking about kind of at the beginning. That is a process I take women through. We definitely face those fears and those things that are causing anxiety, and we release that because you're right. It is all about confidence. So you have to increase your confidence, increase your self-esteem, because once you do that, it shines outwardly. So to your example, I think it was Coach Brian. I forgot. Am I saying the name right? I'm not sure. I am.
David?
David,
Coach
I'm
David?
sorry,
Yeah.
Coach David.
Mhm.
When you cut your hair off and you notice your skin, was beautiful or smooth, and like you start noticing features about yourself when you actually look at yourself without the hair. And I'm not saying to cut your hair off. That is not what I'm saying. That's not everyone's choice. But I'm just letting you know that confidence is key. And that is what I'm all about. Basically, raising up your self-esteem, releasing those negative emotions, dealing with that, and then addressing that identity we talked about, because you have a new identity when you no longer have hair, or when you change your hair. That's a different identity. So you may have been used to those locks. I was used to my locks, and I had an identity tied to that. My locks meant something to me. I didn't just have them for a style. But when I had to let those go, that was something that changed in me, and something, my identity changed, and I had to adjust. Even though I felt the same or had the same thoughts about hair in the inside, my outside wasn't projecting that. So thank you for sharing that. Those were very, very valid points. It's all about the mindset.
Yeah, and I like what you said. It's a process. Doesn't happen overnight because you were used to one way of looking for years. You were used to waking up and doing some sort of routine with your hair for years. So now you're talking about something brand new, a new adjustment, a new normal, a new way of thinking, a new way of looking that now you have to get accustomed to, and not everyone is prepared for that. Um, I certainly wasn't. So it really is a blessing that we have people like you that can help support women go through that process. And then when you get to the other side, you realize, okay, this is a maybe I look even more beautiful now, or I think I look more beautiful now, or whatever that thought is. But it really helps when you have that support to take you along that journey. Um,
My question before we go to the comments, Lisa.
sure.
Kelly, do people treat you differently now you got no hair?
No. I mean, again, I cut my hair off in 2019, but I will tell you, there was a time that I cut my hair off and I was not mentally prepared. I had to cut it off because of my hair just falling out, and I had no choice. So I was not prepared. And at that time, I saw myself negatively. I thought I was ugly. I thought I looked like a man. I thought all of these negative things. And because I thought these negative things, I saw negativity on the outward, so I felt like everyone was staring at me, or getting negative comments and all of those things. But once I actually shifted and prepared myself and changed my mindset and looked at it positively, no, it's been all good. And everybody, they were telling me honestly that I should cut it off, and I wasn't ready. Even that first time I cut it off, I'm like, no, I'm gonna let it grow back, or I'm gonna wear a wig. I think I wore a wig for like an entire year. I left it bald for maybe a month or maybe 2 months, but after that, I wore a wig for an entire year until my hair grew out enough for me to kind of wear it out a little bit and kind of camouflage my hair loss. So it's like I said, it's that mindset. Once I said, okay, this is what I want, I'm going to embrace this look, and I'm cutting my hair off, and this is just what it is because my hair is not coming back. Oh, you should. I have people walk up to me all of the time saying, how beautiful I am, and I am appreciative of it, because I did not feel that way at first. But no one's staring at me. No one is making negative comments. No one is doing any of those things that I thought would happen. It's been all good. So hey, there you go.
Awesome. Yeah, let's go through some comments unless anyone else has something they really want to say. Lisa,
I
we might
saw,
make it on time, right?
I saw, yeah, I'm looking at the time. I saw Margaret had a question.
Okay, I didn't see Margaret's question. Margaret, please feel free to ask your question.
Hi, back again. Well, I didn't know you were going to go back to the comments. I didn't want Christine Bailey's question to get lost. She wanted to know about pumpkin seed oil, if it was good for due to hair loss and stuff. And yeah, so I was also um, gonna tell the beautiful Kelly, yeah, Wakanda, Angela Bassett, girl, she ain't got nothing on you. I'm saying. And Joe, you look beautiful in blue. Okay, thanks, y'all.
Thanks for that. Yeah, I saw the question. So again, some things work for some people and it doesn't work for others. But I will say pumpkin seeds is something that everyone should include in their diet. Unless you're allergic, of course. Okay, we're not talking about that. But pumpkin seeds to me are an unsung hero. It has the protein, it has a lot of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. The list goes on and on. And it's cheap. It's readily available in most places. So I know a lot of people focus on the walnuts and the almonds, which can be really expensive depending on where you are. But pumpkin seeds are something that you should include. Whether you're putting it on top of your meals, you could have it as a snack. You could even grind it up and use it like breading for chicken breast. So instead of using bread, you can use pumpkin seeds ground finely. There's such a variety of ways that pumpkin seeds can be added to your diet. But the pumpkin seed oil, it's the same as the tea tree oil and the rosemary oil. It works for some and it doesn't work for others. So it's something that you have to, one, make sure you're getting a proper one, a good brand. And two, just try it for 3 months and see what happens. But also talk to like your dermatologist, your hair stylist to see if it's right for your hair.
See, Nigerian pumpkin seed is more in a soup, egusi soup. I found that the other day. I never knew what it was. I'm sure
Okay.
Coach David would back me up on this one, but it's a lovely meal, I've got to say.
I have to look at that. I've never heard of that, but that's why I love these shows. Excuse me. People from different cultures come and share these things. I'd love to know about that. And I think
Very nice.
Noni.
Very nice, actually.
It's
Very
the
nice.
loveliest meal ever. It really is. Close to.
Could
Very
you put
nice.
the name of it in the comments so we can see how to spell it?
Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah, great. Noni had a post about soup this week as well. So it'd be nice if that could be included there for people to know about it. I've never heard of it.
Okay, so Dr. Leslie says she drinks 1 cup of beef broth every morning. That sounds lovely. I gotta say, does that help? Does that work? Sounds like it does. I have no idea.
Some people swear by it. It's another form. Does it hurt? No. As I said, it's a nice way to start the morning. Why not? If that's your choice, I have no
Tea
problem with it.
normally helps. Tea does the job, right? Not quite. That's why I'm sort of looking at thinking,
Yeah.
hey, we start our day with tea here, so it's all right. It sounds like I'm just wondering whether it's a gravy beef stock thing, or is it real like meat juice from cooking beef?
No, it's cooked down from beef bones.
Okay.
So it's not like a bouillon cube or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing it the right way, actually cook it down from. It's a process.
If it involves food, I'm there, right? I'm interested. Everything else, and I'll leave that to everyone else, right? Look, my friends, we're doing well for time. I can't see any more questions. I don't know whether you can, Lisa, because it seems like we've got different LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. So I'm seeing Joni says, use your Vitamix. Soup is so easy and delicious. Vitamix, yes, is
Joni,
one of the
here.
best blenders. Huh?
Where's Joni gone? Has she disappeared, or is she here?
I'm watching the private chats. So she's leaving comments there. I don't know why. But Vitamix is a powerful blender, one of the best on the market. Also extremely expensive. Extremely expensive. So it's really an investment. If blending things are something you do regularly, and I know sometimes they have them on sale on Amazon, or you can get them on like eBay and stuff like that. It's an investment. So be prepared to pay in a good bit for it, but it's a good blender, one of the best blenders on the market.
We live
I'm
and
not,
learn. So
yeah.
now, should we go to our last words today, our last comments today? We might should
If
leave
you're
on that.
seeing it, I'm not seeing comments
No,
coming
and
up.
I'm saying those on stage, those in the studio. If you got anything else you want to say before we go,
Or if you have any other questions, yeah. If
Eileen,
not,
Margaret, Coach David, nothing. Okay, I can always go to Kelly.
I'm just gonna say thank you for this beautiful event, Lisa. Always coming 100 all the time, and trying to keep us healthy. And you do it so holistically and organically, and I just appreciate you all the time. I don't always make it, but thank you. And Annie, of
yeah.
course, you're the superstar, Annie. Got a shout out to Annie and Kelly. So beautiful to meet you. I love your energy. And one of the things you did say that stuck with me, excuse my voice, but I heard you saying that what we produce, we project, and that was so powerful. So I appreciate that. And always lovely to see Coach David and Joe, my beautiful, lovely friend. Thank you so much.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Margaret. So you're the star. Now, I mean that sincerely. Thanks for your kind words. Thanks for joining us. So Kelly's been quite restrained today. On her show, she's much more. She's funnier. She's livelier.
Oh, I wasn't funny today. Oh, sorry. It's not my show.
You have been funny, but
We're
your show.
discussing a serious
I
topic.
think me and Lisa were on your show. We're like, wow, she's amazing.
Oh, and
Yeah,
we
but
lost your
you are
video.
amazing, Kelly. Kelly, quick question for you. How do you help people with hair loss?
Oh, can you still hear me? Because I see you lost.
Yeah, your screen's
Yeah,
gone
go
black.
ahead. Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened. Let me start that again. Oh, no. Hold on.
Oh, now she got a yellow background.
Okay, I'm going to answer your question. I don't know what just happened, but can you repeat your question? I'll just answer it off the screen.
How do you help people who are experiencing hair loss?
Okay. So I have a number of ways to help people, actually. So if I do weekly live streams, so you can catch that here on or on LinkedIn. You can catch it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So you can definitely check those out. And it's on Spotify and different things like that. So that's one way. And I don't know why I'm so hurt that my camera is not. I am like, how is it that it's going out when I'm like at the
Blame
last
Annie. Blame
right?
Annie.
Not me.
She's the one that said
Technology
technology is
right?
going to affect us. And yeah, that's Annie's
Oh
fault.
gosh. Okay. So that's one way to reach me. Another way you can reach me is or see me. I do have a 3-month coaching program. So this is for women who are going through hair loss and they need that emotional support. They don't know what direction to go in as far as going in the right direction to make sure they get the solutions they're looking for. So in that 3-month program, we establish what is happening with them. We work on that emotional part that we talked about, that mindset, regaining that confidence. And basically by the end of it, the point is for them to make whatever decision they want to make regarding their hair loss, whether they have a cure for it where it can grow back, or if there isn't a cure where they're continuing to lose hair and it's not coming back, then how do we move forward? So whether that's getting a nice wig custom made that you feel comfortable, it looks very natural for you, whether that's cutting your hair off, whether that's using toppers or head wraps, making sure you go get some pretty cloth and beautiful head wraps to wrap your head up, whatever that looks like for you to make you feel comfortable, then we go through that process. So basically taking a woman from beginning A to Z so that they start off with feeling this insecurity and not knowing what to do, to leaving with, okay, I have a game plan, I'm in this and I'm confident and this is how I'm moving forward, because ultimately we were put on this earth to fulfill a purpose and we need to focus on that. I know hair is important. Yes, it is. However, we have things that we need to do. So we still have to push forward and move past those things that are challenging us to fulfill our purpose on life in life here on earth. So that's what we want to get to. So yeah, just make sure you guys go check out my website and you can find everything, my podcast, how to reach me, how to book a call with me if you want a consultation. All of that is on my website.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Charita's got a question somewhere, Lisa. I don't know where it is.
Okay, I will check on my thing by the time. But Kelly, you also have a non-profit that you were telling me about.
So I'm not, it's not my nonprofit. I am actually in a beauty pageant that is a fundraiser for a nonprofit. So the beauty pageant is called Bald and Beautiful Beauty Pageant. It's going to be in Dallas, Texas in August. And it's going to be, I believe it's probably like 20 contestants. And it's just all about showing that, yes, we may have hair loss. We have chosen to cut our hair off, but we are still confident. We are still beautiful, and we're here, you know, and we are a representation for other women who may need to do the same thing. Or if not, we're still a representation that there's still beautiful women out here without hair. So that is happening. And I'm actually raising money for that fundraiser by selling my shirts on my website. So I have a shirt called, on it says keep God first. So that's the shirt I'm putting out there. But all of the shirts on my website, part of the proceeds go to the fundraiser, which is the beauty pageant and the nonprofit.
Awesome. Please share the links in the comments.
Yes, I will do that.
Our brains are far too easy and far too lazy. I say lazy, we don't like to work too hard, right?
No, please make it easy for us. I did see Charito's question. So she asks, how about hair dye or hair coloring? Is it still all right to use when one is getting older? Does it become a burden to thinning hairs? So I'll just share my 2 cents and then I'll let Kelly answer as well. So all hair dyes aren't made equal. Some of them have more chemicals than others. Again, it goes back to the health of your hair, the health of your scalp, and then how strong the hair dye is. So some of it could be a light color that washes off after, let's say, 6 washes. Some of them are more permanent. The more permanent ones do, you have to be careful with, because again, depending on the chemicals that's in it, and then match that with the health of your hair, especially as it's thinning as you're getting older, it could actually damage your hair or damage your scalp. So talk to a proper hairstylist that has trained in hair care as well. And that's a hairdresser. Some of them just maybe did it in their home and they have a business. But then there's some that study hair care. You want those because you want them to look at your hair and the follicles and everything, to see the strength of your hair, the type of hair, the texture, everything like that, before they recommend a dye that's working for your hair. Anything else you want to add, Kelly?
No, I think you just really do have to be careful, just because in menopause or at a certain age, your hair is getting so thin. Be very, very mindful of the chemicals that you're putting in, because if it's already getting thin and you're putting chemicals in your hair that may make it thinner or potentially come out, you really want to be careful. So I would say make sure you go to a hairstylist to get your coloring done instead of do it yourself. And then maybe pay attention to the ingredients inside of those dyes and see if you can find something that's doesn't have as many harsh chemicals in it that could damage your hair.
Look, I say thank you, everyone. So MD Abdul, we see you as well. I see you on my LinkedIn event page, not on StreamYard, but still, I know you're here. Whoever's on my YouTube, please do me a favor, like today's video. Just hit the like now. Comment, say something. I don't mind what you say. Just say something in words. Emojis baffle me. I'm far too old to understand what emojis are meant to be, right? You know, and subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe. Thank you for being there. You know, of course, Karen, thank you so much. Great show. Thank you everyone for sharing. Very informative.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Thank you all for being here.
Kelly, you put the links in the private chat. You want to make sure and put it on LinkedIn itself. So not on StreamYard. Go on LinkedIn itself and put the comments, because I don't think the comments here are going to transfer to that page.
I'll fix that. I'll sort that.
You'll be able to add it? Okay. Yeah, it has to be on LinkedIn.
I'm doing it now, so I'm going to go and put it on the
great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just
now my camera's back after I get done talking, right?
Yeah, just blame Annie for that.
Yeah,
opened his big mouth and said,
I'm big enough to take the blame, right?
But thank you again to everyone who came live. Thank you for everyone who's going to watch the replay, because I know I have a lot of friends that are going to watch the replay because of the different time zones all over the world. Thank you so much, Kelly, for being here, for being that advocate for us going through that hair loss. You're doing such important work. Thank you for being on the show. Love the energy, love the yellow. Love does love you, right?
Thank you for having me and inviting me on here, and just putting it out there, because this is something that's really big. There are millions of women out there suffering from hair loss, so it's one form or fashion. So thank you for giving me the platform to share.
Okay, see everyone again next 2 weeks, where we'll have another topic based on menopause. Hopefully we will have our lovely Paulette back with us. She should be recovered by then, so say a little prayer, extra prayer for her. And we'll see you 2 weeks time. Thanks for coming.
We will. Now you've gone about 10 seconds too soon, Lisa.
10 seconds too soon?
Yes.
Shall I talk for 10 seconds more?
Yes. Let's talk about your program, Lisa.
Okay, if you yes, that's true. If you are struggling through menopause, or you're overwhelmed or frustrated, or you don't know how to set up a healthy diet, please connect with me. You could leave a comment. I do go through all the comments and answer them. You could send me a DM, and let's just have a conversation. Let's have a chat and see how I can support you.
Awesome. Great, Lisa. Just amazing. Good timing, right? My friends, join us again in 2 weeks' time. We're going to have another topic, and it's always interesting. But look, these events only work when you connect with people, really connect with people. So go in the comments, see the comments that are there, engage with those that resonate with you, and connect to people there. Don't just connect, actually talk to them, book to meet with them. That's how LinkedIn really works. Kelly, you're a star. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Arlene as well, and I appreciate you. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks for coming, Arlene.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Yeah, of course.
Bye, everyone. I'm going to play the
Take
music
care.
to take it out. Bye, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com. Let's celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.